You might think you're the prize because of your age, but she's not just dating your experience, she's testing it hard. And if you fail, she'll quietly walk away without a second thought. There are only two questions she asks, two tiny phrases that can tell her if you're truly the man she craves. And if you answer wrong, it's game over before you even realize it. The first question isn't about her, it's about you. She's watching how you handle pressure, conflict, or even a tiny inconvenience. Can you stay calm when things go wrong? Can you make a decision without hesitation? If yes, you've passed the first test. The second question? It's about connection. She'll probe to see if you're emotionally available, not just physically or financially capable. Can you open up, be honest, and truly hear her? Or do you retreat behind your age and experience, hiding like a man afraid to show he's human too? When a woman is drawn to an older man, one of the first things she unconsciously does is assess his emotional stability. She's not interested in a man who just looks successful or carries life experience like a badge. What she truly wants is someone who can remain grounded when life throws curveballs. Emotional security is the invisible armor that signals reliability and maturity. Women instinctively feel safe around men who are calm, composed, and able to handle stress without overreacting. The older a man is, the more she expects him to have developed this capacity. She tests it subtly, often through small scenarios or questions that may seem trivial on the surface, but reveal how he handles pressure, disappointment, or conflict. For instance, a simple disagreement about plans or a challenge she presents might be her way of observing his reactions. Does he get defensive, impatient, or frustrated easily? Or does he approach the situation with understanding, patience, and calm reasoning? His ability to manage his emotions in these moments is a direct reflection of his maturity. Emotional security isn't about never showing emotion, it's about controlling impulses, maintaining perspective, and responding thoughtfully rather than reactively. Women are wired to pick up on inconsistencies in emotional behavior. If a man appears confident in one moment but loses composure in another, it raises doubts about his reliability. They are essentially asking, can I count on this man when life gets messy? This test also goes deeper than just observing reactions. It's about sensing his internal stability. She wants to know whether he has faced difficulties before, learned from them, and now carries that resilience naturally. When she sees that he can remain calm, make rational decisions under stress, and offer reassurance rather than panic, it sends a powerful signal of safety and trustworthiness. Emotional security fosters connection because it allows her to relax, share herself, and feel valued without the constant worry of unpredictable reactions. An older man who demonstrates emotional security doesn't just attract her, he makes her feel understood and protected on a psychological level. Essentially, this first test is about proving that his experience translates into genuine inner strength, an ability to handle both the ups and downs of life with grace. It's not about showing off wisdom. It's about embodying it in a way that reassures her that she is with someone who won't crumble when challenges arise, someone she can rely on wholeheartedly. When a woman is drawn to an older man, one of her subtle tests revolves around how he uses his life experience and whether he respects hers. She isn't just evaluating whether he has lived longer, she wants to see if he carries that experience with humility, wisdom, and understanding rather than arrogance. Women crave a partner whose maturity allows him to guide without controlling, to advise without belittling, and to share insight without dismissing her perspective. She often observes how he responds in conversations that involve differing opinions or choices. Does he listen actively, validate her thoughts, and contribute constructively? Or does he dominate, lecture, or insist that his way is the only right way? This distinction is crucial because it signals whether he can balance his accumulated wisdom with respect for her independence. An older man's experience can be incredibly attractive, but if it becomes a tool for condescension, it creates a barrier instead of connection. She wants to see that he can provide guidance without turning it into a power dynamic. Life experience respect is also tested through scenarios where she presents challenges or makes decisions that might differ from his perspective. Will he react with patience, understanding that life isn't about imposing one rigid viewpoint? Or will he become frustrated, implying that his experience outweighs hers? How he navigates these moments reveals whether he can integrate his knowledge with empathy and collaboration. Women are particularly sensitive to subtle cues, tone of voice, body language, and choice of words all communicate whether he genuinely respects her as an equal partner. The most successful older men in her eyes are those who can combine their life lessons with emotional intelligence, creating a space where she feels heard, appreciated, and inspired. She's testing not just his wisdom, but his ability to elevate the relationship by sharing it in a way that enhances rather than diminishes her sense of self. In essence, this test is about compatibility on a deeper level. She wants someone whose experience serves as a foundation for support and growth, not a weapon for judgment or superiority. Respecting life experience means understanding that her experiences matter just as much as his, and that the relationship thrives when both perspectives are honored equally. Demonstrating this balance shows her that he is capable of partnership rooted in maturity, insight, and genuine mutual respect, which is ultimately what makes an older man irresistibly attractive. When a woman is drawn to an older man, one of the subtle but crucial tests she conducts is around boundaries. This is not about trivial rules or rigid limits. It's about seeing whether he can respect her individuality while maintaining his own integrity. Women intuitively want a partner who can navigate the delicate balance between closeness and autonomy. She may test this by making requests, expressing personal opinions, or setting limits to observe his reaction. For instance, she might suggest something she wants to do independently or express a desire that conflicts slightly with his preferences. How he responds to this reveals whether he honors her autonomy without feeling threatened or resorting to control. Older men often carry a sense of authority or confidence born from life experience, and while this can be attractive, it can also become a liability if misapplied. Women want to know if he can handle situations where he doesn't get his way without frustration, passive aggression, or dismissiveness. The challenge of boundaries also touches on emotional space. She might share something personal or vulnerable, and then gauge whether he responds with curiosity, empathy, and respect for her pace, or whether he pushes too hard, tries to fix, or overrides her feelings. This test is fundamentally about emotional intelligence and self-control, qualities that women associate with maturity and stability. By respecting her boundaries, he demonstrates patience, understanding, and a willingness to co-create a relationship that honors both partners. Conversely, failing this test through insistence, impatience, or disregard signals a lack of sensitivity and a potential for conflict down the line. It's not about agreeing with everything she says. It's about listening, considering, and responding in a way that validates her perspective. She wants to see that he can hold his own ground while still making space for her needs, desires, and opinions. When an older man passes this test, he signals that he can engage in a partnership where power, respect, and decision-making are shared, not monopolized. Women who crave older men are particularly attuned to these dynamics because they've often experienced partners who either overstepped or withdrew, leaving them feeling unsafe or undervalued. By demonstrating a nuanced understanding of boundaries, an older man shows that he is not only experienced but also emotionally competent, capable of creating a relationship that feels safe, balanced, and deeply respectful. This skill makes him not just attractive, but genuinely desirable, because it ensures that intimacy and connection can flourish without fear or resentment. When a woman is attracted to an older man, one of the most subtle yet powerful tests she conducts is to see whether his confidence is genuine or merely a mask for arrogance. Confidence signals security, self-awareness, and the ability to handle life's challenges, while arrogance often reveals insecurity, control issues, or a need to dominate. She observes how he communicates, makes decisions, and reacts to situations where he isn't in full control. For example, if she challenges his opinion or asks for his help in an area he's less familiar with, does he respond with patience, curiosity, and a calm explanation? Or does he insist he's always right, belittle her perspective, or dismiss her entirely? Confidence is rooted in inner strength, the quiet assurance that comes from experience and self-reflection. Arrogance, by contrast, is loud and performative. It seeks validation and often undermines connection rather than building it. She is particularly attuned to his body language, tone, and willingness to admit mistakes or acknowledge when he doesn't know something. An older man who demonstrates confidence can attract respect and desire without needing to dominate. He makes her feel safe, valued, and understood. Conversely, arrogance creates tension, resentment, and distance, signaling that he may prioritize ego over partnership. She is testing not only his self-assurance, but also his ability to inspire trust and comfort. Confidence invites collaboration, intimacy, and shared growth, while arrogance isolates and intimidates. Passing this test requires a delicate balance, showing strength without aggression, experience without condescension, and security without rigidity. It's the subtle difference between a man who leads with wisdom and one who imposes it, and mastering this distinction is crucial for older men who want to cultivate deep, lasting attraction and respect. If you want to know exactly how to answer these questions without stumbling and show her that experience and maturity are more than just numbers, hit that follow button, because understanding this could change the way she sees you forever. When a woman is drawn to an older man, she often tests his decision-making abilities to see if he can navigate life with clarity, confidence, and responsibility. This isn't about making perfect choices every time. It's about demonstrating thoughtfulness, calm under pressure, and the ability to weigh options without panic or impulsivity. She observes how he approaches problems, whether small daily matters or larger, more complex situations. Does he analyze the situation logically, consider consequences, and make a choice decisively, or does he waver endlessly, overthink, or act rashly? The way he handles decisions reveals his maturity, reliability, and capacity to lead both himself and, indirectly, the partnership. Women are particularly attuned to moments of stress or uncertainty, as these situations often expose true character. If he can make choices without arrogance, impatience, or need for validation, he signals that he can handle life's challenges while maintaining composure and balance. Importantly, she also observes whether he respects her input in decision-making. A man who unilaterally dictates every choice demonstrates control rather than leadership, whereas one who listens, integrates her perspective, and reaches thoughtful conclusions shows emotional intelligence and partnership skills. She wants a man who can take initiative when necessary, but is also flexible enough to adapt and collaborate. Strong decision-making skills communicate reliability, stability, and trustworthiness, all qualities that women crave in an older partner. By demonstrating sound judgment, he reassures her that he can handle not just day-to-day challenges, but also more significant life events with wisdom, patience, and integrity. A man who masters this balance naturally becomes more attractive as he embodies both competence and emotional intelligence, showing her that she can rely on him without feeling constrained or overpowered. When a woman is drawn to an older man, one of the most important tests she unconsciously gives is to assess his emotional availability. She isn't looking for someone who is constantly cheerful or problem-free. She wants a man who can engage with his feelings honestly and communicate them effectively. Emotional availability means being present, empathetic, and willing to share vulnerabilities without fear or defensiveness. She often gauges this by observing how he responds in conversations that touch on personal experiences, challenges, or emotions. Does he listen attentively, validate her feelings, and respond with understanding? Or does he withdraw, change the subject, or dismiss her emotions? An older man who demonstrates emotional availability shows that he can connect on a deeper level, beyond surface charm or material security. This capacity allows her to feel safe, understood, and valued, knowing that she is with someone who can handle intimacy and complexity. She also tests whether he can express his own emotions authentically without hiding behind stoicism or pride. Emotional availability requires courage because it exposes one to vulnerability. Yet it is essential for building trust and genuine connection. Women are drawn to men who can balance strength with sensitivity, someone who is grounded yet capable of empathy and openness. When an older man passes this test, he signals that he can be a reliable partner, not just in daily life, but in the emotional landscape of a relationship. It demonstrates that he can navigate both challenges and joys with honesty and care, creating a bond that is resilient and deeply satisfying. Emotional availability is ultimately a measure of his willingness to fully engage, making him not just a partner in life, but a partner in heart and mind. When a woman is drawn to an older man, she often tests whether his protective instincts come from care or control. She wants a man who can make her feel safe, supported, and valued, not someone who uses his experience or authority to dominate or belittle her. Protection is attractive because it conveys strength, reliability, and the ability to handle challenges. Patronizing behavior, however, sends the opposite message. It suggests insecurity, condescension, or a lack of respect. She observes subtle cues in how he responds to her needs or challenges. For example, when she faces a problem, does he offer guidance thoughtfully, empowering her to make her own choices, or does he take over, implying that she cannot manage without him? A man who protects without patronizing demonstrates emotional intelligence and maturity. He understands that being supportive doesn't mean diminishing her independence or judgment. Women are particularly sensitive to tone, word choice, and body language in these interactions. Even small instances of dismissiveness or overstepping can signal that a man's protective instincts are rooted in ego rather than genuine care. The ideal response is a balance. He can step in when necessary, provide insight or help, and ensure her well-being, all while honoring her autonomy and competence. This approach builds trust, comfort, and attraction because it reassures her that he values her as an equal partner rather than someone to control or shield excessively. By demonstrating protective behavior in a way that uplifts rather than undermines, an older man signals that he is capable of nurturing the relationship without compromising respect. She feels empowered, safe, and understood, which deepens emotional connection and fosters long-term compatibility. In essence, women are looking for strength paired with sensitivity, where protection enhances the partnership rather than diminishing her sense of self. When a woman is drawn to an older man, one of the most critical tests she gives is to see if he remains consistent under pressure. Life is unpredictable, and she wants a partner who doesn't crumble, overreact, or become erratic when challenges arise. This test is not about perfection. It's about demonstrating reliability, stability, and emotional control. She observes how he handles stressful situations, conflicts, or unexpected changes, whether in everyday matters or more significant life events. Does he maintain the same values, patience, and calm demeanor even when things get tough? Or do his reactions vary dramatically depending on circumstances? Consistency under pressure signals maturity and reliability, showing that he can be trusted to navigate life with balance and foresight. Women are especially attentive to patterns rather than isolated incidents. A man who reacts well once but loses composure repeatedly will raise doubts about his stability. She also watches whether he can manage pressure without projecting frustration or negativity onto her, which reflects his ability to protect the emotional environment of the relationship. This consistency is intertwined with his ability to communicate clearly, make thoughtful decisions, and remain emotionally available even in difficult times. An older man who demonstrates this quality reassures her that he is dependable, resilient, and capable of facing challenges alongside her rather than becoming a source of additional stress. It also shows that his experience has translated into wisdom rather than rigidity or unpredictability. Ultimately, passing this test builds deep trust and admiration because she knows she can rely on him not just in calm, easy moments, but when life becomes complicated or uncertain. Consistency under pressure proves that his maturity is genuine, making him someone she can envision as a long-term partner who brings stability, confidence, and security to the relationship. At the end of the day, when a woman craves an older man, she's not testing his bank account, his status, or even just his charm. She's quietly assessing whether he embodies the qualities that truly matter: emotional security, respect for experience, the ability to honor boundaries, genuine confidence, sound decision-making, emotional availability, protective instincts without control, and unwavering consistency under pressure. These aren't tricks or games. They are subtle signals that tell her whether he is the kind of man who can handle life with grace, lead with wisdom, and love with authenticity. Passing these tests doesn't require perfection. It requires awareness, empathy, and a willingness to show up as his most grounded, honest, and capable self. When an older man demonstrates these qualities, he doesn't just attract her, he earns her trust, admiration, and desire. He becomes someone she feels safe with, inspired by, and deeply connected to, creating a bond that is as enduring as it is magnetic. Understanding these dynamics isn't about manipulation, it's about recognizing the subtle ways women assess the men they want to build real connections with, and rising to meet that standard with integrity and confidence.